Now we talk about herd immunity. A lot of people will get infected and many of them will get immunized. When coronavirus caused COVID-19, virtually nobody was immune. The best way to control COVID-19 is to achieve herd immunity. When most of a population is immune to an infectious disease, this automatically provides indirect protection to those who are not immune to disease. It all depends upon what kind of disease and how infectious, how contagious it is. Around 80% of population needs immunity to achieve herd immunity. Then rest of the population will automatically get immune because the spreading of virus doesn't take place. If you look at the medical history, we did achieve significant herd immunity in many countries. For example, measles, mumps, polio, chickenpox. These are some of the examples of serious infectious diseases for which we have created a herd immunity because of serious vaccination. Today, coronavirus is a very serious issue. What happens normally? Viruses, for example, a flu virus, can mutate over time. It can re-attack a person after a certain period. The antibodies which you have developed during first infection may provide protection for a short period of time. Same thing can happen with current COVID-19 virus. We can expect people who get infected, definitely they will be immune, definitely probably not their entire lives. That is a problem with coronavirus. There are two ways you can get herd immunity. One is by providing a protective vaccine. That is of course the best way. Second is large population gets infected, they get immune. Unfortunately, the rest of the population will remain vulnerable for infection. These are the people who need to be saved. Say let's wait for vaccination. In the meanwhile, two things can happen. In the worst cases, that is, if you don't follow these rules of COVID, no social distancing, staying at home, all these if you don't do, the virus can infect many people in a matter of couple of months. And it may result in a very high number of deaths. Till now, we have not yet settled a death rate for corona. This is the worst situation. But what is the best situation? If we continuously maintain the whatever existing levels of corona infection as it is, or even if we try to reduce these levels by putting a lot of efforts by the entire population, level of physical distancing for a long period like a year or so, till we get a highly effective vaccine, then yes, we can gradually develop this herd immunity and reduce the infection process. If you are not vaccinated, if you are not serious about long-term measures, in-between phase is very dangerous. The period we are following everything seriously, we may feel the cases are coming down, deaths have reduced, but you may see an explosive outbreak later. This is expected if you remove suddenly lockdown from these countries, especially like India, you will have to face explosive outbreaks of COVID. And that becomes very difficult for medical and administrative people to handle. All over the world, scientists are working very seriously to develop an effective vaccine. In the meantime, we should remain uninfected with the virus. The measures explained till now have to be followed very seriously. Even then, population will slowly get infected, and slowly we'll get a herd immunity in a due course of time. To establish a good herd immunity, we need longer time. Staying in your home, not meeting people, following hygienic practices for a long time. I appeal governments to continue a moderate lockdown procedures to avoid explosive outbreaks like what happened in New York City. Last but most important, the protection from immunity with this virus may be for a short while. So let us follow these rules and wait for the vaccine. And the vaccine is going to develop a serious herd immunity. Today we discussed two ways of getting herd immunity. One is through vaccine, second is through getting infection, which is not a very great idea. So let's hope for the best and wait for vaccine.